Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Creating Geeks, a parenting podcast of great responsibility. As always, I'm Chris.
I'm Sarah.
She sings. Chris and Sarah Chipman, if you're nasty. Anyway, I thought that made you laugh. Anywho, this is episode number 4, so we're off on a good track. And
444.
Up to this point, we've kind of done media, like visual media. We did Bob Ross, Gem and the Holograms, and Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Now we're delving into something a little different. We're going to do books, children's books, and this is a children's book I was particularly very fond of, and I'm sure you were too.
Yeah.
And what's cool is in researching it, learned some cool things about it that I didn't know. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, this is about Where's Waldo. And for those of you that don't remember, before I even get into the information, these were the kind of younger level seeing eye book, almost is kind of the idea, but
Or older level.
older level. You're searching for a character, and later on multiple characters in really cool, colorful, really uniquely drawn vignettes. And it was a great thing to do when you were a kid. A great thing to talk to your friends or your brother or your parents about how many have you found, and some of them were more difficult than others, and it was just a blast. So with that, I'd like to start by reminding everyone this podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/thechippa. That's THECHIPPA. Again, we can't do these without support from people like you, so keep on helping us out. And again, that also supports the Chipman Brothers Tangent, which I do with my brother, Bob Chipman. And thank you again for the support there as well, amongst other things which have yet to come. So with that, information about Where's Waldo. So this is the first unique piece of something I didn't know. It's actually called Where's Wally. It was originally published in the U.S. As Where's Waldo, but it was at first a British series of children's books created by the English illustrator Martin Handford, which you'll see his name on every cover that's burned into my brain. The books consist of a series of detailed double-page spread illustrations depicting dozens or more people doing a variety of amusing things at a given location. And man, are they fun to look at. Readers are challenged to find a character named Wally hidden in the group, and that's how everything started out. Wally, or Waldo's... Oh yeah, sorry, this will be what Sarah gets to talk. I'm missing my beats, I apologize. Go ahead.
Man just doesn't know how to shut up.
Nope.
Wally's distinctive red and white striped shirt, bobble hat, would be pom-pom hat, and glasses make him slightly easier to recognize. But many illustrations contain red herrings involving deceptive use of red and white striped objects. Later entries in the long-running book series added other targets for readers to find in each illustration. The books have also inspired a television show, Where's Wally, the animated series, comic strip, and a series of video games.
I wonder if those games or the animated series ever came to the U.S.
Yeah, I had one on my phone.
Oh, super cool.
Or it might be on my iPod.
Oh, awesome.
It was kind of cool.
So a little bit of more history than that. In 1986, I was 2. Handford was asked by his...
I was 5.
5, yeah. Handford was asked by his art director at Walker Books to draw a character with peculiar features so that his pictures of crowds had a focal point. After much thinking, he came up with the idea of Wally, a world traveler and time travel aficionado who always dresses in red and white. Sometimes it would take him up to 8 weeks to draw a 2-page sketch of the elusive Waldo. They keep writing Wally on this. I did a little cut and pasting. And the characters surrounding him. Go ahead.
The first Where's Wally book was published on Monday, September 21st, 1987. Well, that's specific. The Where's Wally books were published in the United Kingdom by Walker Books and in the United States under the title Where's Waldo, first by Little Brown and Company before being taken on by Candlewick Press. Walker Books American subsidiary, I can't speak, publishing company. The first 4 titles were originally printed in Italy, but later reprinted in China. Italy, that's interesting.
Next 2. The books became extremely popular and were localized for many different territories, with name changes for Wally in certain regions. Like those finicky U.S. folks that just can't handle Wally, so it's Waldo. Wally has been made harder to find from book to book, and boy, do I remember that. But here's something unique or interesting. They reduced his side on the page and size on the page by surrounding him by more and more other characters. In the first book, Wally was on average 0.99 square centimeters big. This was reduced to 0.8 square centimeters in the second book, 0.33 square centimeters in the third, which decreased by more than half, and between 0.2 and 0.17 square meters in the fourth through seventh book. He has also been surrounded by more other characters from 225 on the first book's first page to about 850 on the last book's first page.
Who the hell wrote this?
Me and Wikipedia.
Wow.
Anywho,
Wikipedia's an editor.
So with that,
primary books, which were later printed to include other characters, was Where's Wally or Where's Waldo? Where's Wally Now? Renamed U.S. title Find Waldo Now, renamed Where's Waldo Now. Where's Wally the Fantastic Journey? The U.S. title for that was The Great Waldo Search.
I remember that one.
Yep, I had the first three. The blue, yellow, and red were the first three. Where's Wally in Hollywood? U.S. title Where's Waldo in Hollywood? Where's Wally the Wonder Book? U.S. title Where's Waldo the Wonder Book? Where's Wally the Great Picture Hunt? U.S. title Where's Waldo the Great Picture Hunt? Where's Wally the Incredible Paper Chase? U.S. title Where's Waldo the Incredible Paper Chase?
Something really interesting about all those is I thought all these books had come out when we were children, and
Couple of them came
the
out.
first few came out up till 1989, and then the last two came out in 2006 and 2009.
Well, there was 93, 97.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've actually never seen.
And they also too have collections. I have one, and it looks like they've come out with other ones that actually it's smaller, but it's got a lot of the books in them. I think mine has 6 or 7 of them all combined. If I remember correctly, it's packed away, so I'd have to pull it out, but
interesting.
Very cool.
So on to the characters. Like I said, at first we just had Wally or Waldo, whose name was localized for certain international editions, like those pesky international Americans. For example, Waldo was in the United States and Canadian editions. In the first 2 books, Waldo wandered alone. He was the only person to be found in every illustration. Over time, more characters were added to find in each scene.
Wilma, Wally's first friend, appeared in the Ultimate Fun book, and was replaced by her twin sister Wenda in the Where's Wally, the Magnificent Poster book. Wenda, a friend of Wally, who replaced her twin sister Wilma in Hollywood, although she previously appeared in the Magnificent Poster book. But our first book has all of those characters in it.
The one we just bought was reprinted to include them all. That's what we were just going through.
Now I'll have to pull up my old hardcover ones from when I was a kid to see if that changed.
Listen as Chris and Sarah learn whilst recording. This is just riveting shit right here.
Mind blown. Anyways, carry on.
Oddlaw, which is Waldo spelled backwards. Now here's the thing. Wouldn't it be Eliaw in England? Because Wally's spelled backwards, or are we just not going to get into that? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we'll get there. Wally's nemesis, who made his print debut in the Magnificent Poster book. He appears nearly the same as Wally, except that his clothes are yellow and black, just like Wario, striped instead of red and white. His glasses have a blue
Mario.
tint to them, and he has a mustache. He also has a British accent in the television series. Although we are told his bad deeds are many, he is not depicted in the book doing anything particularly nasty. However, in the television series, he is frequently seen to be attempting to steal Waldo's magical walking stick. Note that the name Oddlaw, like I said, is simply the reversal spelling of Waldo, the American name for Wally, although he is called Oddlaw in the United Kingdom version as well.
Interesting. Wolf, Wally's dog, first appeared in the Ultimate Fun book, where he was identified as Wenda's dog. Only his tail can be found, with the exception of the final page of Where's Wally, the Wonder Book, which depicts all of Wolf and the 6 activity books released between 93 and 95, the first book of which is titled The Truly Terrific Activity Book, where Wolf shows himself to the reader.
Interesting.
Is it me, or was that hard to read?
A lot of it is. Wizard Whitebeard, who's actually my favorite character, and who, on a recent Waldo search, which we'll talk about later, we found in a dark and stormy place, which was just the checkout counter at a local game shop or game pub thing. First seen in The Fantastic Journey, his signature is his exceptionally long beard, which is often the key to finding him. In his first appearance, he was responsible for sending Wally on a quest to discover the truth about himself, and he has tagged along on Waldo's travels ever since. His appearance in the Ultimate Fun book, however, is in just one scene entitled Old Friends, and his presence is unmentioned in the book and acts as one of the background characters. I do believe there are some things where they have like a look-alike of Wizard Whitebeard too, in like Hawaiian like shirts and stuff with just the beard, which I always found funny.
The Wally Watchers are Wally's devoted fan club that first appear in Where's Wally, the Ultimate Fun book. They turn up wherever Wally goes dressed as the same red and white striped outfit. 25 appear in most books, though there are 99 of them in the Ultimate Fun book.
I don't know which one it was. I think it was the Great Waldo Search, but there's a one of the vignettes, I think it's the last one, is all the Wally Watchers. And the way you find Waldo is something about his face or the way his hat is crooked or the amount of stripes on his hat. But it was infuriating.
And I don't, they didn't touch upon it here, but in the book we just bought the other day, we bought the newer version of the first blue one. There's one Waldo Watcher in each scene, and it's a different Waldo Watcher. And in that book, and I don't remember if it's in the same way in all the other ones, but at the beginning of the book, Waldo's head to toe and all this stuff, and in each page he loses something, so by the end of the book he has nothing, and then you have to go back and look on each page for whatever was lost. So you have to look and say, alright, he doesn't have this, and then try to find it.
They're ingenious little books. And remember,
and then there's all this other stuff at the back of the book. There's pages that say, find this in each... Like, they gave me anxiety with all the different stuff you have to find. Can't I just find Waldo?
Well, I remember
and
when...
the other characters?
I remember when the books first came out, though, these were like Easter eggs. Like, they've added and gone back and added words to tell you what you should look for, but I remember it was almost like an unspoken code between kids that had the book of, oh no, that's the one where you have to find all the stuff Waldo dropped, or oh no, this one has this special picture where like the character's looking the wrong way.
If you're looking at him and he's not, you can see what he's missing. Is that item going to be in that page or the page
previous
prior?
Page, I believe.
So if he's not wearing his camera, the camera's going to be in the previous.
I think so.
But he's wearing it in the previous page, so wouldn't it be?
I'm not sure.
That's where I'm confused.
The plot thickens.
Now I'm going to have to go. This makes me want to pull out all my old Waldo books. Like, I think the hardcover ones are buried.
And that is the point of doing this podcast now, isn't it?
Junking up our house.
It's clever that I thought that up. No, not junking up our house. Please don't let her junk up our house.
They can't stop me. No one can.
Anyway, so next step, now that we've bored you with history and about what this actually is, I'm sure you're all excited about Where's Waldo again. But
I am.
Sarah, what was your initial experience? Do you remember?
I had the books as a kid. I think it was kind of like, there was Waldo. I think it kind of then went with, like, the magic eyes, like all those fun, like, eye trick things. I don't know. But I like the Where's Waldo books and trying to find them and trying to find the I don't know if it's in which book it's in, but, like, the funny different things you see. One of the books has a page where it's, like, a big triathlon thing, and there's always the funny things, and that one was, like, the guy running naked. So trying to find that funny stuff, because there's usually a naked guy in almost all of them, I think.
Yeah, it's British humor.
I think. I don't know. But there's always inappropriate stuff in them.
Right.
But they're fun.
Slightly inappropriate. Not like inappropriate stuff that a 6-year-old would find funny, not inappropriate stuff that's, like, wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my initial experience, like I said, we just had them, but I remember having the Where's Waldo book and then getting the other ones for like Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I had an older brother, so we would hand stuff down to each other. But the thing that always struck me about it is that you had picture books that were for really young kids, and then books with a lot of writing that were for older kids, and there was kind of a stigma that they really can't live in the same world. And this was a picture book, but it encouraged you to look at every single piece of the picture. And so that you'd sit with these books for hours on end, like scouring them and looking through them. And this was around the time of like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and stuff like that. We need to add that to our list for,
yes,
for
I was
a future
thinking about
episode.
that earlier when you were writing Waldo.
But anywho, so that I found truly unique and interesting is just looking for all the cool things in each page, and they're popping into my head right now as we talk. I can see them.
We have a book sitting across the living room,
and I think that's super cool. And they were a huge part of my childhood. And unfortunately, or I won't say unfortunately, but I'll be completely honest. Until our revisiting, which just happened last weekend, right? Of Where's Waldo, I'd kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah. We had that book we got a couple of years ago.
Right, so
we lived in
Waldo just turned 30. Like you said, the first book came out in 1987, and so they had a big, Where's Waldo Day. And Beverly, Mass, which was where Sarah grew up, had this cool tie-in with it. to make you go to all these shops on the main drag streets, Rantoul and Cabot Street. And so what they do is you go to a bookstore and you get a list of a scavenger hunt, and then you got to go to all the stores and find Waldo and his friends. And so we had a lot of fun. We took Baby A around with us, and went store to store, and it was silly and it was fun, and it was a good time, and that's where we bought this most recent Waldo book. But I love that. I love that something that old can still have that level of appreciation and approach, and can have children still wanting to enjoy it. And that's kind of the point of this, is we want to make sure these things that shaped us aren't just thrown by the wayside. That our kids can benefit, because there's all kinds of great new stuff being created, but Where's Waldo's pretty unique.
I like it.
So what about you? What do you think about revisiting?
I think it was fun. It made me definitely want to go dig out that book you bought me with all the ones in it and see if I can find my old hardcover ones that God knows where they are. Dad's probably. It was fun. Like I like you said, kind of forgotten about it for the most part, but I always loved Waldo. I always thought it was a fun little book to look at all the pictures and see the funny things, and try to find all the different stuff, and getting frustrated and being like, I know I can find him. Where is he? But I will say, when I flipped through the one we just bought, I was able to find him pretty quick in all of them, and not because I remembered, but I don't know.
You're also an adult.
I'm an adult. Lay sad, don't remind me.
It's also become a pretty funny meme.
Way to bring the mood down, telling me I'm an adult, you jerk.
There's always pictures where
you're an adult too, asshole.
Yeah, You'll have a photo of a bar with a guy with a Waldo type cap on. People have an arrow pointing, found him. You know what I mean? It's stuff like memes going around. Will be a picture of a bar, a crowd, and you'll see a guy with a Waldo type cap on. It'll be an arrow. It'll say, found him.
Oh, for Halloween costumes.
Yeah, I always enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's always been a popular Halloween costume, is Waldo. We have someone that did Waldo.
I think Schneikes.
Probably shouldn't say their name on air.
No, but it was someone in college. I just don't remember who. Maybe I forget. Anyway, so
but if you were a friend from college of ours that's listening and you were Waldo, it was a great costume.
Yeah, good job,
Sorry,
bro.
we don't remember who the hell you were.
Exactly. So then that brings thoughts. Of course, we've been gushing over this, so of course we're going to show it to our kids. But an interesting story recently. A friend of mine, when we talk about age appropriateness, I'm going to say as soon as possible. A couple of friends of ours, really, really great old friend of mine, and have a daughter that's a little younger. Age appropriateness, as soon as possible. Old friend of mine has a daughter similar in age to Baby A, actually younger than Baby A, who they posted a video of being able to find Waldo on every single page. And I think that's awesome because it's just memorization. I'm sure the parents went through and showed her, but it's such a weird and unique thing. But, babies see that kind of stuff. Little kids see that kind of stuff. Once they're fixated on that, they know this is the thing that's different. This is the thing. And I just found that super cool to see that, What about you?
That's why when we went out to do the search, we bought Baby A book because we want her to do the same thing because parents, competition, reasons. But
no, nothing real like that. It's just it's fun.
Maybe.
It's like something to play with. You know what I mean?
She likes looking at books and pointing at things. I don't know. It just seemed to fit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, is there anything we need to talk to our daughter beforehand about this? I mean, like you said, some of the silly and inappropriate things, but I think that's found in all children.
Yeah, like the naked guy. I think he had something covering him.
Yeah, it's always like a leaf or a hand.
It was like his back, and there's something over his butt. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. It's silly stuff.
It's very silly stuff,
and it's not like it's out there. Whatever.
Right. Cool. So that's where
there's nothing really to preempt with, other than this is going to drive you batshit crazy till you find them.
It is, especially the page with all the Waldo watchers. That one drove me friggin' nuts. Yes. Is there anything else like this?
I want to say there was.
Because, I mean, we touched on...
the I Spy stuff, but that's different items. But I feel like there was something, like a spin-off, but I don't remember. Not a spin-off, but like a... a similar one.
Because, like, I loved how, I mean, we talked about, Waldo's being hidden in all the vignettes, but they'd go back to, like, important times in history. Like, they'd go back to, like, Aztec ruins.
Yeah, there's
And,
the one where they're kind of like he's like traveling around the world. I think that was
yeah.
the Red Book.
Yeah, I think so. Find Waldo Now, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I forget. But yeah, no, maybe I don't remember. If there was, I liked Waldo better.
Right. It's just
Like I really feel like there was like a discount Waldo, for lack of a better term.
Hmm.
Am I remembering?
You're probably right.
I don't know.
Like
I make things up.
Find Guthrie or something like that. Or,
I'm gonna have to like Google search because I really feel like there was some sort of other find something.
What? Okay. What
know.
would like a name for like a Building 19? Where's Waldo be? Or like a Woolworth or a Walmart? Where's Waldo? Like the funny way they get away with those things like kind of search for James, or something silly like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Uh,
That was lame.
I am lame.
Lame sauce.
Whatever. It's late. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. currently as we record this.
Well, anywho, hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. And, if you've never heard of Where's Waldo, please go find it. I'm sure you can find it at your...
Find Waldo now!
At your local children's bookstore, Amazon.com, everything else. So, again, if you have any comments on this or any of the other things that we've done, topic ideas maybe for the future, or anything else you want to say, you can go right to patreon.com/thechippa. That's TheChippa. Or go to my YouTube page where this will probably be up as a video and also soon be available for download as a real podcast. Again, we're calling that The Chippa Made This Productions. On that Patreon and on, through all those other things, you can also find the Chipman Brothers Tangent, which I do with my brother Bob Chipman. And some new things that'll be coming soon, hopefully. So remember, as we always say,
there's no shame in being a geek, no matter how old you are.
Have a great night, everyone.